Alright, so let's talk about Batman Aliens. Written by Ron Mars and artwork by Bernie Writhington. I think I said that last name right. Anyway, so the story is that Batman has traveled to the Amazon in order to search for a missing Wayne Tech employee who has gone missing, and he's trying to find him on the family's behalf. And he accidentally runs into a squad of commandos working for squad of commandos working for a shadow government who are looking for they're trying to find a downed craft, which turns out to be a spaceship. And on that spaceship is what else? Is of course the Xenomorphs. Now, what you're probably thinking is, well, are the Predators involved here? No, this is just your generic aliens who ran into the Xenomorphs and got chest busted, more or less. This is a pretty cool comic. Now, yeah, it does kind of run into the absurdity of Batman vs. Predator, you can see, because the Predator can just come to Gotham. Xenomorphs on Earth is kind of always a dodgy subject, because it may or may not make or break the comic in some cases. But having said that, this is a pretty fun comic. Ron Mars also did another DC Alien crossover later on with Green Lantern Aliens, which revolved around first off with Hal Jordan, but mostly focused on Kyle Rayner and carrying the Xenomorphs. But he wrote this first. What I like about this comic is that even though you have Batman outside of Gotham, which, yeah, it's a little tough, Batman outside of Gotham, some can hardly work, and Batman the Amazon, you kind of realize in some of the squad member Spec Ops characters that he runs into, which, by the way, they're just kind of generic characters. You got the asshole leader who wants to get the job done. You've got the overly religious guy who will break down any second. You've got the guy who just wants to go back home and smoke. And yeah, there's one other character. Oh yeah, there's a female character there who you can obviously tell from her first moment of, I want to be a woman who will become one of the most powerful women in the world. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to be the bad guy in this comic, aren't you? So they're not really well developed, but then again, they're just here for us to see these Xenomorphs kill people. That's kind of the big thing with them. That's really all they have going for them. Because we all know Batman can't be killed by these things, because Batman has a franchise. These motherfuckers don't. Yeah, I also love how they point out that Batman, it's kind of ridiculous for Batman to be in this costume in this kind of weather, because the Amazon's hot, guys. It's really hot. And you could probably imagine wearing all that gear and hot leather is probably not comfortable for Bruce Wayne to be wearing right now. So he literally has to, fight through the own heat and against his own costume as they discover this alien ship. Now, the Xenomorphs, what I like about here is that it's not a huge swarm. It's literally they're only fighting 2 or 3. Yeah, 2 or 3 Xenomorphs. It wasn't really a big breakout, and no one really knows how the Xenomorphs got on this alien craft, because it's been here for a while. And yeah, they did kill the guy Wayne was trying to find, and now he has to go home and call the man's wife and child and say, hey, this is Bruce Wayne. I accidentally sent your your husband to die. Sorry. Yeah. Now, Batman, of course, it's actually kind of cool, because what we see in this crossover is that Batman's scared. We get to see Batman terrified, and that, again, that's not an alien, no pun intended, alien concept, alien concept. But what I like about it here is that he's more scared of not being able to get out of here and get back to Gotham than he is, the aliens themselves. He's more scared about Gotham's safety than, ever getting back there. And, he literally says, I left Robin in charge, and while he's good, he needs my help. Gotham still needs Batman. What I also like about this, and this is something that Ron Mars did in the Green Lantern Alien crossover, is that in that crossover he talks about how the Xenomorphs aren't really evil. And he does it in here, too. He talks about how it's not the aliens who are evil, they're just animals. Even Batman says when he's back in Gotham and he's in the Batcave, he literally says, these creatures, They didn't want to be here. They didn't ask to be here. They were just doing what, nature told them. They're no different from sharks and crocodiles. They're dangerous, but that doesn't mean they're evil. And I love this scene that, Batman had, after this whole ordeal. I'm going to spoil this much because the comic's been out for a while. I guess I could spoil this. Batman took the last facehugger away. He took the last facehugger with him, and he tossed, he more or less destroyed it. Now, yeah, there is a sequel, there's a second Batman Aliens crossover, and I've had multiple chances to get the comic on a whole, but I've heard it's really terrible. You got the Xenomorphs talking and using guns, and I'm like, no, you don't mess with the alien formula. And thankfully, this only does it in one scene, and I'll get to that in a moment. But getting back to what I was originally saying, I like how in here Batman treats the Xenomorphs as just animals. They're just, they're scared, they're angry, because they don't know where they are. He literally feels awful about, he has to kill them. He feels awful because they didn't ask to be here. They were just following what they're programmed to do by nature. So they literally, he literally has to do a you or me kind of situation, and it came down to, it's going to be you instead of me. And I like that. I like how Batman doesn't, the Xenomorphs, and that's what I like, that Ron Mars brings that up, because you don't really see that even in the Alien comics or even in the movies where they're just animals. They're, really intelligent animals, mind you. They're really smart animals, but they're still animals on a whole. And I like that. I do like that kind of angle. But anyway, there's one... I really do like this comic, even though it's two-parter, but I feel like it wrapped up the story nicely on a whole. It really did wrap the story up pretty well. Now, I will say this. There is a moment in the second issue where a crocodile gets hit by a facehugger, and it mutates into a giant kaiju-like... Not really kaiju. It looks like something like a mix of the Rhodosaurus from the Ray Harryhausen movie, 20,000, the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, and a Xenomorph Queen. Yeah, and I was like, but when animals are touched by facehuggers, they usually become drones. What the fuck is this? So yeah, they did kind of mess with the formula, but I guess Ron Mars wanted a big monster fight at the end for Batman. And it is kind of cool, but at the same time, I'm like, don't mess with the Xenomorph formula. I don't know, guys. I'm just an alien purist. I really don't like it when you mess with the Xenomorph kind of formula. They're scary on their own. Why do they need to be upgraded? What's the point of that? Anyway, so with that being said, this is if you can find it, because this is a damn rare comic. I got this for $12, and I wasn't even looking for it. I wasn't even looking for Batman Aliens. I just found it in the stack of comics, and I was like, I'm taking this. I'm taking this. So that was kind of my thought process. But yeah, if you're a Batman and Aliens fan, again, it falls under the absurd crossovers, but I think it acknowledges in its own dark way how absurd it is. Also, best moments in the comic is where Batman's having a nightmare where where he's reliving his parents dying in the alleyway, but instead they get chest busted instead of shot. It's an awesome scene, and Batman's just freaked out to no end. But anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys later.